Welcome to ATB TV. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti on this fine Thursday afternoon. Plenty of news around the traps, Pete.
I don't know what your definition of fine is. Minus
Fine.
5.
It's not raining.
Minus Rest Cafe. Does that get us a free coffee?
Probably not.
Better show
No one knows, people.
that.
No, we've just been over to Horsham and dropped a few off at Paul Prushka's.
Yep.
And looking forward to this weekend where we're going to unleash one of our internationals. Which we'll talk about a bit later on.
What's the news?
You told me the news is half the trainers are going to go up on charges.
Yeah, there's a bit of a story Matt Stewart put out, and we'll forget about Queensland for the moment, where most of their trainers are up on some sort of charges. But yeah, there's a bit of a backlog of cobalt cases and
due to COVID-19.
I think so. Yeah, they've just held them back, and
I see you've cancelled your international and interstate and inter-Victorian travel plans.
haven't moved from the lounge room, Darren.
Looks like in Victoria we're going nowhere anytime soon.
Well,
I thought I'd roll out of lockdown into a week at sunny Queensland, followed by lockdown into the foaling season. But it looks like I'm not going to Queensland, Sydney or anywhere else.
Just turn the heater up in your lounge room, Darren.
Can't wait to next week where we'll be shed building, Pete, so you're welcome to come and join us if you want.
I'll bring the heater out. One of those gas ones.
We'll need one of those heated jackets.
It's a bit disappointing as things are spiked up again in Victoria.
Yeah, so, you know, we've sent you out all the updates on how you register to go to the races. Given what's going on, I'm not sure how long that's going to last now.
No.
But, no, things are just fair in Victoria.
Yeah, just fair. This time last week we were sort of going, you beauty, we're going to be unrolling a few, paving the way for maybe 5 or 6 owners per horse. It's basically now one owner per horse, and then at the discretion of the club. So,
well, thanks for putting that update out, Peter. I'm sure that that clarified the situation for everyone. I read it twice and had no idea. So I suppose you just wait for the link, click on it, register, and hopefully get the call.
So basically, if you're in a horse and your name lobs the secretary's office first, you're ticked off. Then they look to see if all other horses are engaged with at least one owner, and then after that, up to a maximum of 30, they'll just ad-lib, throw them in. So,
well, for those, I think have we got runners on Warrnambool in a couple of weeks?
I think that's going to be our next edition the week
so
after.
We'll have a couple of owners that might want to go to Warrnambool. A couple of local Ballarat owners you might go locally. I don't think you'd be travelling too far to go and watch them, would you?
No, I wouldn't have thought, because you're only going to be locked up.
So what happens? You get in for half an hour before and half an hour after?
You're, an hour on track, full. Hour on track, and you can't...
So you wouldn't travel to Swan Hill for that?
No, you wouldn't, and you're basically just in a group, I think 20 in a room. There's 30 in that race, the other 10 have to find somewhere else.
Be interesting to see...
No partners.
Be interesting to see what happens at Caulfield on Saturday.
Yeah, well, that's a point. And you can't, your name has to be in the book.
Name has to be in the book.
It has to be in the book.
Right.
And I mean, as a syndicate, you don't have to flip over, you're
sure.
still there. But
all right, well, let's go through last week's few runners that we had. Where do we start?
It was warmer at the Meredith Royal Hotel Meredith. It was a lot warmer, but it wasn't too warm after 2 o'clock. We watched Passaggio run second last. I think he choked down, Darren, and since has been sold.
Well, that's the penalty. Tongue over the bit, finishing second last, unfortunately. We had him in the English sale. We weren't expecting that to happen. We're actually expecting him to run top 4.
Yeah.
But he was a limited staying conveyance, so the owners agreed that he should be moved on. And he was sold today on English online for $9,500. And I'm not sure where that buyer was from.
Someone Burton, I don't know where it's from.
Don't know. So he's gone. You won't see him run again for us. So disappointing, but you just have to move them on if they're not going to pay their way.
Exactly. A bit later on the day, Whitemore ran 5th, ran better.
Yeah, now, was he on the synthetic, Pete?
Yeah, 1400, and just trying to think who rode him. Oh, Noel Callow said push him out to a mile. I think we've been down this track before with this horse. Whether that's what he is looking for now,
he's had a lot of starts, Pete.
Yeah.
Look, he's just going, the horse, let's be honest, he's just going, and English online sale closes Wednesday week.
He'll get a chance maybe Monday, Ballarat.
He can run around before he gets put into the next sale, I think is the plan.
Yep. Saturday at Morphettville, Sano Dulce, first up for Will Clarkin.
So Sano Dolce is a mare we bought by I'm Invincible. She won a race at up in country Queensland, Sunshine Coast, for Damien Batters, and then with their COVID restrictions, we made it pretty much impossible to get her into the city up there. So we moved her down to Adelaide, just chasing that midweek city win with her before she goes off to stud in September. So she was first up on Saturday for Will Clark, and I thought she acquitted herself quite well. 1,050 was obviously too short. We knew that before the run, and third up will be her go. She'll probably only get 4 runs over there, and Will knows that she's off to Russian Revolution in September. So just trying to get that city win with her, but I thought she acquitted herself quite well, jumped nicely, travelled well, had to angle around 3 or 4 times looking for gaps. And the track was a mess by then.
Absolutely, yeah.
They were chucking mud everywhere. In the post-race, you could hardly see the fluoro on his colours.
Yeah, and Will Clark looked like he was not too interested about being about that cold either.
I think he was waiting to get home to have some pumpkin soup by the look of him.
Anyway, she ran well, so she can improve off that.
Yeah, good start.
Sunday, well, sort of half a little bit hopeful with the Sunday gathering.
Well, I wasn't too hopeful at Werribee, but...
No, well, we'll start with Werribee. And that was just ordinary. Rode her up, settled second last, finished second last. Sort of commentary from the jockey that he wasn't really trying the horse. Not the jockey, the horse wasn't given 100%.
Well, I think we've said before that he's a big track horse.
Dry track horse, big track horse. And
gets back, runs on. His best trials have been in blinkers. So turns up at Werribee with no gear on and. Runs about where we thought. So, after you pasted the trainer, I think he's going to put the visor on and back him up, send him somewhere.
They might have pasted themselves because it was heavily backed.
Yeah, I couldn't work that out.
Heavily backed and light.
Everything I thought about in life said to me that he needs a big track, Werribee, short, straight. Needs blinkers. Blinkers were off. I thought he would have went from 4s to 10s, but he went from 10s to 4s.
The other way, yeah.
And ran no good. So anyway, he's at the crossroads, that horse. So he's got ability, but he's not doing it on the track. So he's going. I reckon last-ditch effort with visors, which are the blinkers with the cutout behind.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't switch him on, I think they'll be recommending that we move him on.
I'll put a few logs in front of him, Darren, too.
Yeah, well, don't know if that's going to help.
be handily bred jumper.
I want to be careful what I say here, please. I don't want to be charged with bringing racing into disrepute.
Yeah, well.
So stop leading me in.
Right, the logs were there just
because Carlton beat Geelong by 2 points.
Sorry.
Which I don't think Liz is talking here.
Sorry, Lizzie.
The only good thing was she didn't know the game was on. So
righto.
She didn't watch it, and she will not watch it.
I watched the game. I was sitting there with 7 goals in front, and I thought, I reckon we'll find a way to lose this.
Oh, no.
Should have lost it 4 times in the last quarter.
Geez, you'd make a good horse trainer. I'm 7 lengths in front.
Oh.
I'll find a way to lose this.
That's what happened when you've been back for Carlton for the last 20 years.
Anyway, it's the first time Roger Gleason's rang me for 3 months. Carlton beat Geelong.
Oh, he would have been on the phone for an hour and a half.
The game was shorter.
Anyway, Sunday we had 3 runners at Bendigo, and we'll start with Penthouse Playboy, and I think everything we thought last week pre-race about the jump-in trip probably undone the horse in the last couple of hundred.
Yeah,
he ran well till then and then got tired.
Yeah, well, he was jumped from 17 to 2400 on a wet track,
big
and
jump.
I think he had to go there because there was no other options.
No, that's why, yeah.
And he was gone, I'll say 500 out, 600 out, he was gone. Then he wobbled all over the joint.
Yeah.
She was hanging on for dear life.
He raced keen, which is another sign that he's not...
I don't know why he was up near the lead. I thought he was a midfield run-on horse, but anyway.
Probably fresh. Second run in bloody 6 months.
I suppose we've got 2 runs into him together, so Pat Ryan's done a good job that way. Look, if we're on track here, his next start at Warrnambool, he should be right in the mix, and if he's going to go on with it, he should be winning that, and then we can get him back into the big time. If he can't be winning a 64 or whatever it is at Warrnambool next time, then we're probably wondering what his future holds.
2,400 in about 10 days, and like Pat said, it's probably the prep's been around soundness. Now it's about getting his fitness right up there, and the holes together he done.
He's got to deliver.
Yep. Connery and Captain Harry again in the same race over a mile, and It started similarly to Sandown, but
Well, the money came, didn't it?
Yeah.
The money came late for Captain Harry.
yep, but
What was he? Fives into $3.30 or something.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
But
And
the poor bugger got pestered out front by a roughie, and he never settled like he did at Sandown at any stage.
no, you said the jock had bad hands.
Here we go.
Joy
What if Joy
McNeil.
tunes in? Anyway, look,
Anyway,
he was scored 500 out. Connery was in that race and ran well to run third.
I thought Connery's run was outstanding.
Yeah.
It amazes me how things unfold. You know, Captain Harry, heavily backed late, barrier 2, going to ride him forward, wet track. Every day I've been to Bendigo on a wet track, the rail's been no good. They've all come down that crown, down the centre. And Liz said to me, who finishes first? And I said, well, I think Connery beats Captain Harry home. And the money come from Captain Harry, so you sort of think, oh, what's going on here?
Yep.
And then Joy McNeil goes too hard, gets pestered, doesn't hand up,
Well, I don't reckon
keeps him on the worst part of the track.
I don't reckon he went hard enough early, and that's why he got pestered. Because he was not, he was never comfortable, and then that, I don't know what happened. It was about 101.
But then he got beat 13 lengths.
Yeah, he's got beaten too fast.
So what's the result?
Don't know.
Haven't we heard?
Oh, the horse was fine.
Pulled up fine?
Yeah, and Mitch is just going to just give him a few easy days. And
Did you say he's going to send him to the beach?
sorry. A change in environment and tactic, environment in training, but I reckon there might be a change in tactics.
One of the owners said, do you ever watch a movie called General Custer? Where the white flag went up pretty quick?
Yeah. Look, we're seeing at Sandown.
He ran super at Sandown.
You're not going to change those tactics, but now I just wonder whether you just go back and try and ride him a bit quieter. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Don't know.
disappointing. I think everyone was disappointed in the run because he was heavily backed and he was going to be on the speed. And after Sandown, I can see why people thought he was going to win, but
So Sandown was unknown, so no one's going to take him on.
didn't work
Those
out.
tactics were exposed.
Yeah, and 100 to 1 shot.
Thought, well, I've got nothing
Who was
to
that
lose.
jockey?
I don't know.
Obviously didn't like John McNeil. But Connery, out the back last,
Yeah.
Craig Williams fell asleep there for 1,000.
He had to actually
Someone bit the
go
horn
right
on
back
the
to
corner,
last.
said, wake up Craig, get going, and like Dandino in the Caulfield Cup come charging home when it was all too late.
Chompers Williams come back. He's ran 3/3 in a row, and look, they've all been a similar type of run. And
He definitely went to sleep, Williams. Didn't he?
I thought he was going to win at the
You ran me
200.
straight after the race. What was he doing?
I thought he was going to win at the
see.
200. No, I
There
did.
you go. He was
I
bagging
think all the viewers know. All
Hey?
the viewers know you're just egging me on. Hey?
You said Yendel would have took off 200 earlier
Probably.
and got the money.
Don't know about that. Don't know about that.
Anyway, we never let the truth get in the way of a good story here at ATB.
There's a good, actually, just speaking of Yendel and Malum and Michael D, did you see that little clip that came out on Twitter?
No.
I'll find it. I'll post it right now. Have a look.
I've had enough of you, Mantooth. This is gonna end right here, right now. Let's dance, dickweed.
You want to dance, Ronnie? I want a polka.
Come get a taste. Rick, where'd you get a hand grenade? I don't know.
All right. Let's do this.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
What do you think of that?
Hilarious.
Oh, it was good. We're at Dean. I said, where'd you get the grenade, Dean? He goes, oh, I don't know. So, yeah, a bit of fun there with
Someone
one of the
said
racing
He rode a
pages.
treble somewhere?
Dino?
Yeah, somewhere in the last week he rode a treble. And you know how they come
Someone
back
else,
and
someone else.
they sort of go, point the fingers. And you can see Yendel going, trying to work out 3 fingers.
I think he got his way with that weights thing, or not got his way.
Oh, they changed?
They're just going back to the original
Right.
because they've said, well, we've increased it over the years. There's no need to go up further.
Yeah, all right.
You know, so
Doesn't worry him, he weighs 51.
well, after 3-course meal of Macca's going to the races, so
Yeah, it makes me sick.
yeah.
But I thought Connery was good. Captain Harry, obviously maybe he just had a bad day. Sometimes we
Yeah.
could be too harsh. all horses don't perform well every race.
No.
And sometimes you get hyped up and expect them just to win.
Yeah.
And then when they run badly, you just throw the towel in.
Yeah.
I just wonder whether he just had a few things against him.
Because that Sandown run, he fought on like a cage lion, and Bendigo, he just wanted to just get home.
Up, so I don't know. The only change was Ben Mellon to John McNeil.
Yeah, and Connery.
I think that sums it up.
William said 2,000, Connery, so that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, he's going to 2,000, so that'll be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't know where you're going, do you?
Sunburnt today.
Oh yes, we're in Maui.
Far from getting sunburnt, but
Yeah,
here's
sunburnt.
a little filly that needs to learn to get her racecraft into gear, which is to settle, Darren. She's just doing everything too.
I was really happy with the last run. I thought she had she's her own worst enemy with her head up, and today he charged her out of the gates, and I don't know what he was doing, but he got her charging, and she got her head up, and then she was gone before the bend and struggled away on that heavy 9. But to me, all 3 runs this time in, she just doesn't seem to want to settle or get her head down. So I think with her, I spoke to the trainer after the race and suggested maybe it might be an idea to send her down to Matthew Williams on the beach and just get her working in the sand and the wash and galloping across the seaweed, and just see if we can get her to unfrazzle her mind and get her to settle, because what we're doing at the moment is not working.
No.
She's not getting any better, so we need to change things up. So they're going to send her down to Warrnambool and just kick her off from down there and see if that can make a difference. That's your bookie. You haven't paid your bill.
Wonder what trailer that'll be. No number. I don't answer them.
You got no numbers in your phone. So we're going to try her down the beach for a couple of runs, and then we'll reassess.
And you mean you can't possibly run her over 1,200 the way she's running, so you mean you need to just try and get her
We've
to
had
settle
horses
over
before
1,000.
that have been hyped up, heads up,
Yeah.
carrying on, and
Well, French Fizz was one that we
they used to settle into the beach and they'd changed totally. And
Yeah.
look, we got to try it because we need to do something.
Yep. I did miss one in the run through, Darren. We skipped from Sunday to Thursday. Husniaki at Swan Hill on Monday.
Yep. Paul Prushka, first up.
Yeah.
Pretty much panned out what he thought.
Probably they're a little bit disappointed, but they did sort of say that they probably would have loved a trial or 2 into her. So it left a little bit of where are we with her.
I just wonder whether people realise that with COVID-19, we're not travelling all over the state trialling these horses, and they're not getting 2 or 3 trials.
Well, they're not allowed to
before they go
move.
races.
The only place they can trial at is at their home base, which is Horsham, and they can't trial it. There's no other trainers apart from Paul.
Yeah, well, Paul said
jockeys can't drive into trial.
Paul said he took 3 first starters somewhere.
Yep.
Had an absolute shocking day, but they all sweated up and carried on because they'd never been away from home.
And that's a lot of people think the trial part of it's the actual trial, but it's the day away. It might be a 2-hour float trip.
Yep.
They could be tied up for 3 hours.
They're in a new environment.
Yeah, and Husniaki's a filly that's probably only trialled a couple of times in her life.
Yep, and she was too far forward, and she was on the west part of the track, and she was first up underdone on 1,200.
Yeah, no, don't throw the...
So we've just put a line through that.
Yeah.
And we'll wait for her over 1,300 or 1,400 in a couple of weeks.
The gauge Paul's got now is he knows he could probably put a bit more work
He's got to tune her up a bit, so he's got to get her going a bit better than that. So
that's it. That was all our runners.
So our next runner now is not till Saturday.
Yeah. South Pacific.
Now here we go. The big spruik horse, you know, like the media.
Well, they've grabbed hold of it, haven't they?
Mate, what's going on, Pete? Like,
Kieran's been
talking it down.
The only show he hasn't been on is with Waleed Ali on that project.
Mate, here we got a horse that's come in from the UK, hasn't run for a year. It's a stayer. It's first up at Caulfield.
Dead set stayer.
Yeah, like it's run behind Stradivarius and Constantinople and southern France. Hasn't run for a year. Caulfield 2000. And they're spruiking it. It's in every article. Ma to Unleash Cups International. Now what's going to happen is everyone's going to get excited. Then it's going to run midfield, and then they're going to go, this horse is no good. And they'll write it off.
And it'll be probably like, they'll back it somewhere along the line somewhere.
I can't believe it. Now it's in against Harbour Views, which is handy.
Yeah. And had 4 runs as prep.
So he's evens.
Yeah.
We're $11. Now I'm telling you, for those who watch this,
it beats half an home down.
If he gets beat, if he can finish within 6 lengths of the winner, and beats half from home, that'll be a good kick-off.
What's the worst track for an international horse coming here, apart from Moonee Valley, which the Caulfield's the worst. They love Flemingtons and Sandown
Well,
types.
they've never seen a Caulfield
Well, they're
type
big,
of track.
wide space, open things, and Caulfield they're turning from the start to finish.
But I reckon things must be pretty quiet in town because they got nothing else to talk about.
Well, they're drilling these people.
Why aren't they just raving on about what a great horse Harbour Views is?
Yeah.
And giving him some credit and leave us alone
Well,
because we're trying to fly under the radar.
Poor old Matty Williams is...
No one's ringing him.
No, but he was sort of talked the horse up that, we don't
Cox
know.
played, he said.
And they all hammered him because
They
he
laughed.
put a story out.
What about when it wins by 5 on Saturday? They mightn't be laughing. They don't worry about South Pacific until he gets out to 2,400 plus and he gets a couple of runs under his belt.
Primary targets are still 3 or 4 months away,
Well,
Darren.
it's November. It's a 2-mile race and we've got to win a race on the way through to get in. But, I reckon... I've had 4 media people ringing up wanting to do interviews. I told them to ring you.
All right, but nothing out of me.
Karen's sick of talking about it. He said to me, "What have you told him?" I said, "I told him nothing. There's nothing to tell."
Speaking of Stradivarius, Donkey licked a fairly handy couple of horses there the other day.
That was the Gold Cup at Ascot during the week, and did he win by 15?
Have you seen a horse sprint away in the last 400 metres like he did? It was only cross counter
running third.
Behind him.
Yeah, so that gives you a good gauge how good he is. Now we did look at trying to buy him, Peter Stradivarius.
I heard you.
After his 3rd run.
I heard you were offered.
And you know what the vet said? It's only a pony.
He is a small horse, isn't he?
Pony. It's won about 8 million.
Got a nice motor.
Sick of these vets.
Anyway.
There's always someone ready to talk you out of a buy.
Yeah. No rules really, is there?
And the other one we tried to buy ran 2nd in the, I don't know what that race was called now, but horse called Sir Dragon that ran 2nd in one of the big races there during Royal Ascot as well. That
there was another one.
We were trying to buy, but the price just kept going up and up.
Another one got home hard and ran 5th and we were looking at it one
Was it?
stage.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Can't remember what it was called. Anyway, we got no more definite runners, but we know we're going to have runners, and Noah Fields will be out tomorrow.
So let's talk about Monday.
Well, Whitemore we just spoke about, he'll be Ballarat over a 1500 synthetic.
Will you go?
Pop your head up over the fence.
Maybe Monday, so
maybe
1400.
1500.
15. Yeah, well, they said he wanted more ground.
Yeah, so no
That's
extra 100.
possibly, if he doesn't, look, that could be his last run for us.
Swan song. Unassailable, 1,000 metres on the synthetic.
I'm happy to see her back on the synthetic because she didn't handle the wet the other day. Now, she's probably just going to win a couple.
Yep.
But unimvincible. I'm trying to say unimpressive. I'm not impressive, and
I'm invincible.
I'm invincible.
Get all that out.
Look, some of them are just 3-year-olds, but I just want to see her on the synthetic before I judge her.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she handled the wet the other day, or the jockey said she never.
Just draw a nice little barrow just in behind
Yeah,
her.
she might. She goes hard and knocks up, but I'll just be interested to see. Because on that synthetic, they sort of sit up a bit, don't they, and then sprint. So anyway, we'll just see.
And the other one's Murals.
Murals first up for Archie.
No, Mars. Archie.
Just testing.
She's done a lot of her work and trialling on that track.
What's Archie saying?
Archie's not saying much at all, but Kieran and David, David's saying that he's been very happy. All the work's been about her. She was a little bit, not headstrong, but wanted to get it all done, and she's been settling nicely behind horses, trialled up well and ready to go to the races. So whether they go there, I'm not 100% sure. I'd be thinking home track, across the road, on a familiar surface, perfect time to kick off.
Yep.
Get a look at her.
And what's the other ones?
Rotorua, but I don't know whether he'll back up.
On Tuesday?
Wangaratta, Monday.
Anyone else?
Ballarat's Tuesday, I think. Right. That's all I know, and that was all the nominations that are out today.
And we might see Sano Dolce next Wednesday at Balaclava, just having another warm-up run.
Yep. Speaking of warm-ups, it's cold.
Now, footy tipping. Race lockdown tipping.
Yes.
The way things are going in Victoria, this comp could go for 3 years. 3 years, I tip.
It's gone 3 months now.
I reckon we're a long way off it. Now, who's winning?
Week 11, we had a mover, Glenn Duncan.
Oh, Glenn Duncan. He told me he was going to win this.
He tipped 10 points. I think it was a breakdown, a couple of winners in a second. Went to 89. Overtook the previous week's leader, Tom Holdsworth, who tipped a couple of winners. He's on 88.
Wow, 1 point the difference.
Yeah, Bobby Sideshow Bob Shields, 83. He was the leader.
Back to 86.
Back to 86, and Phil Cunningham 82. And the week's best tipsters was Shirley Baker, who tipped 3 of the 4.
Gee, that's good effort.
And Kenny Andrews, who tipped his best bet in the winner.
So we'll just look at those first 3.
Yep.
What are the scores? 80?
89, 88, 86.
Gee, that's close, isn't it?
Well, each week
It's changing.
it's changed. So, you know, you have a 10-point week, and you're within half a dozen. You could be the leader.
And how many points are you on?
I tipped Paul Prushka's winner
Here we
in the
go.
last.
I
and
just
actually
asked,
tipped
ladies and gentlemen,
4 I got, Darren,
simple question.
or 6.
How many points are you on?
Oh, I don't know what I'm on.
40?
No, 70.
Oh, you've got 70.
68 or 70. Yeah.
We need an independent audit, I think.
Liz gets my tips every week.
You're putting them in on Sundays and you're still only on 70.
I get the discretionary 2 points for doing it every week, so I get guaranteed 2 a week. No, it's created a lot of interest and no one's dropping off.
Well, I can tell you now, this could be the longest competition in history because we had 33 new cases today in Victoria. So I think we're going to be in lockdown for some time.
So by Christmas time, the leader should be
The leader's on
300.
2,400.
We might have a first prize by then.
Got to save up.
Well, actually, we give 2 free tickets to the races when they open up. No, look, it's good. It's a bit of interest, and it's.
They take it very serious.
Yeah, no, like I said, there's a few people that are getting a long way behind, just dropped off, never put their tips in.
Gave up.
The 60 or 70 that are in it now,
They're serious.
and they're religious by the. They all like if you.
So it's half. We've dropped from 130 to 60.
130 to 80, something like that. And I tell you what, creatures of habit. If Joe blows tips at 10:15, there won't be 5 minutes either side of that every week, and some leave it to the last 20 minutes, some the day before.
Now, what about these blokes that are tipping, but they don't tip their own horse?
Oh,
What's going on there?
I could name a few.
Yeah.
I could name a few.
We know who you are.
And then there's some that make them best bets when they're 50 to 1. But there was some surprise. Yeah, just did not even tip their own
Don't worry,
horse.
it doesn't go unnoticed
No,
here.
circled them and highlighted them.
Now, in your spare time, you've been working on a bit of a promo. So
For most of the whole 3 months of lockdown.
now you might want to just keep your eye on an email that comes out tomorrow, Pete.
Expressions of interest.
A new horse,
A new one of homebred.
homebred with one of our, you said, hottest young trainers.
Going to one of our hottest as in strike rate. For the girls, it might be other. Matt Kamani.
So stay tuned for
Have a look
Peter's
at that.
email tomorrow.
Expressions of interest.
Pretty well priced, I would have thought.
Yeah, out of a.
Picking him up from the breakers on Monday.
Yep, broke in really well.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that email tomorrow.
Yep.
Now, in your other spare time, which you've got plenty of, you've been working on a promo video
Favourite horse now.
for our superstar stallion, Dandino.
Yep.
And this goes for about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So
We'll finish off with it.
go and have a look at that. And hopefully some of those horses can come out and start racing well in the next 6 months. But I thought you might enjoy this video about Dandino.
The star he was.
So you go and have a look, and Peter and I are going to get in the car and turn the heater on.
Have another coffee.
Until next week, I'm Darren Dance with Peter Morganti. Have a great weekend.
Dandino now let loose by Ryan Moore, and on the outside is Sun Tracer, who's right with Dandino, but it's Dandino to win.
Hello, Christoph Brookett's my name. This is Dandino. We're here at Bombora Downs on the Mornington Peninsula. From a stud manager's point of view, Dandino is the ideal stallion. He's got a great temperament. He's good to work with in the breeding barn. Any of my staff can cover with this stallion. He's kind to the mares. His fertility is as good as I've ever worked with. His foals have inherited their father's temperament and his physique, so anyone can pick them out in the paddock quite readily. I'm hearing tremendous things from the trainers that've got some of his youngsters in work at the moment, his oldest of 2. I'm hearing very good reports. I think the next 12 months will be extremely exciting for this stallion.
Takes the lead, but Dandino immediately went to him, and Dandino said, "What have you got?" Secret Number says, "Well, we'll find out, because Dandino's going for home early." Gets away on Secret Number, leads him by a length. Oh, got tightened up there as Dandino laid in, and on the inside, Don Dorimo fighting back, but Dandino by the 100 metres races a couple of lengths in front. and Dandino scores by 2 lengths. Oh, very important bobbing photo for second. Maybe secret number from Don DeRemo.
Hi, I'm Doug Harrison, and I'm here with my Dandino 2-year-old that I bred. And really, I think he looks the spitting image of his father. The same little antics that he probably showed. I just hope he's as good as Dandino. But when Christoph from Bombora told me about Dandino coming, that I was very keen on him. You know, I thought he was a horse that showed great acceleration. And talking with Craig Williams over him, he was disappointed he didn't win the Caulfield Cup his first start over here. He said he had to go right around everything.
Jetaway still the leader for Mr. O'Kieran. Mr. Mowat getting over their heels, running on his Royal Descent Silent Achiever. Faulkner's coming down the outside. Jetaway at the 150 is in front of Diademi the inside, and Faulkner swapping them out wide in the Caulfield Cup. Faulkner's raced up and grabbed them, and Faulkner's got up to win from Diademi. Maybe Dandino third. It's a photo there with Mr. O'Kieran.
And, you know, he ran well in that campaign. Then he rode him back overseas in a gallop. And he sent me the sky cam of it. He was sitting about 3 lengths off another horse. And when he pulled him to the outside, he just accelerated. And that's what I think he showed. And I believe in a stallion, that's what you really need to make that good classic horse. And that's where the money is in those type of horses. They've got to be able to sprint and sustain the run. And he showed that in his Craigley Stakes run with Darren Weir. You know, I watched that. He was tailed off, and then he made a quick run up to them. Then he had to make another run over the top of that and finished right on their heels. He's by Dan Silly, the leading son of Danehill in Europe, and he's done very well over here in Australia. What I like about them, they've got a great temperament, the way they do things. I've got 2 in work at the moment. They're great movers, and I think they've got a very bright future. And as I said, this fella, you know, you would think it was Dandino, so I just hope he's as good.
Pleased with his development. As you can see, he's filled out, and he's a nice style of staying 2-year-old that's going the right way for us, does everything right, and start to build things up with him and have a few gallops and potentially get into a jump out this preparation. But we're really pleased with him. I reckon he's a good style of horse, and obviously of his pedigree, we'd be looking for him in the spring and not later on as the races get further. But really pleased with how he's progressing.
Currently in our stable, we're fortunate to have a Dandino filly out of the Riverton Midnight Miss. Well, there's a lot to like about this filly, but I think what does strike you straight off when you see her, that she, type-wise, she resembles Dandino quite strikingly. If she was black, it'd be a very, very strong resemblance. She's heading in the right direction, this filly. We've given her a light prep. I was very, very happy with what she did. Very competitive in nature, very sensible. You know, she's handled herself very well. She was good under pressure. She did everything right in the stable, and we're certainly looking forward to getting her back in and seeing what she can do next preparation. She's probably a filly that's going to keep getting better with age, and I don't doubt that with that she'll keep improving within herself. But I couldn't be happier with her at this point. You know, she's done super in the stable. Certainly gives us the indication that she's probably going to be a mile-plus filly, and she can be anything like a sire or partly of. We're going to have a very exciting time with her.
Paul Preusker as a Victorian trainer. Just talking a quick chat on the Dandino filly that I've had in my hands. Look, for me, a very professional outfit. Probably one of the better 2-year-olds I've thought going forward for next year. Lovely, tough, mentally sound, and physically everything sort of held together, and looks quite promising. To get it back and get the next prep into her is going to be really exciting for me to put a girth back on her again. Got a lot of hope for her. I just love these tougher type horses that are mentally sound and switched off as well. You know, I think going forward, they're a breed I'll be chasing. Although I only have one in my hands, but when you see good things out of a filly like that, you certainly there's more in the breed. So anyway, guys, look forward to getting her to the races and expecting good things.
Just here with Dandy Man. He's a son of Dandino in our stable. He's got a really good attitude towards his work. He eats well, takes all the work that we give him, and just showing a real little bit of natural talent towards the staying. You know, he's taking that demeanour. He eats well. He's really relaxed in his work, and as I said, takes all the work that we give him. And he's sort of got up and had a pop out of the barriers as a 2-year-old. So certainly been able to take a good work early on in his career, and look forward to seeing what he can do this preparation.
Hi guys, I've been lucky enough to get one Dandino from ATB. She's a filly. She's in a second prep with us. First prep, she just came in for a bit of education, and this time round she's going really well. We hope she'll trial in a fortnight. The thing we've seen with Dandinos is she's been very consistent. She's a nice solid filly. She really enjoys her work, thrives on it, and the deeper we get into the prep, the better she's going. So she's a kind of horse that I wouldn't mind buying another Dandino or getting sent to Dandino, because he was a very tough horse, and I think, you know, the stallion's going to do well at sort of the mile and the mile plus market.
Dandino's amongst the end. Dunadena's back there with him as they come around the turn. Faulkner's made ground. He's gone right to the outside, and Seamoon is coming with him into the straight now, and Red Cadeau and Simonon race up and go to the lead from Mount Athos down on the inside. They're followed by Fiorente starting to come home hard, and then came Super Cool and Faulkner down the outside. Red Cadeau tackled by Fiorente. Mount Athos kicking back on the inside. It's Fiorente in front on the outside with Red Cadeau. Fiorente and Red Cadeau from Mount Athos. Fiorente just in front of Red Cadeau, who's coming back. Fiorente by a neck. Oliver's lifting him, and Fiorente won the Melbourne Cup for Gay. Red Cadeau second, Mount Athos third. Simonon ran fourth, and Dandino fifth.
Dandino now let loose by Ryan Moore, and on the outside is Sun Tracer, who's right with Dandino, but it's Dandino to win it from Sun Tracer. The Jar third, Code of Conduct was fourth. Dandino, Ryan Moore for Australian Thoroughbred Bloodstock, and Marco Botti, they've won it again.